So, you guys talking number 7 or you guys want 14?
It is April 28th, 2026, 6 p.m. Could you please stand for pledge allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I declare we have a quorum present, which is Gary should be here shortly. Do we have any changes to the agenda at this time?
Yes, I'd like to add about the upcoming workshop. I don't know where you want to add it to.
I think you could just do it right after, right at the end, what do you say? It's just a workshop.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you? All right, so we'll put it in at 13 now.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda with the one change.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda, is there anything in the consent agenda
Yeah,
you'd like to discuss?
the minutes, I just want to be sure that, the minutes on item number 26, which was water tap. I just wanted to be sure that the attorney is speaking on what we want for that. Because that was supposed to read that they have to. It's the one where the water tap, where in the past when we did it, they had to be a yes vote for any sort of specialist district or any kind of district that would occur any changes in the water system.
Yes.
That they have to be a yes vote on it, either side, us or a township.
Yes, and Ash has to approve as well the agreement.
So you'll get that one?
Yes.
Okay. That's it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Okay, we'll go, sir.
Mr. Yost,
Yes.
Mrs. Bussel,
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes, Mr. Van Washenova,
Yes.
Mrs. Ellison,
Yes.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're back to public comment. Mr. Bill, you want to start us off, please?
Yes, sir.
This is a public comment portion of the meeting provided in accordance with the Michigan Open Meetings Act. Public comment is for members of the public to address the board. It is not a question and answer period, and the board will not respond to questions or engage in dialogue during this time. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes and is permitted 1 comment per session. If you have a question or are requesting information, please provide your name and contact information, and appropriate staff will follow up outside of this meeting. Comments must be directed to the board as a whole and must be respectful and orderly. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Like anybody would like to come up, address us, please do so at this time.
Hi, Kim Jarmo, Frenchtown Township. Al, I filed a recall on you because you left us no choice. The wording on the recall is pretty clear. I wrote, engaged in misconduct resulting in the vote of the Frenchtown Charter Township Board to restrict Mr. Van Washenova's access to township-owned property, scream profanities at township staff, consultants, and residents, and damaging township property. I could have went on and on, but I didn't. I didn't have room, and they would only let me file 1. But it's pretty clear, and I'm sure it's gonna go through. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna get enough signatures. The rest of the board, I don't necessarily, I personally don't feel they need to be recalled. I feel you left us no choice. It's our responsibility to make sure that this is a safe environment for our employees, for our board, for our citizens, and for the consultants that step into this township. And you failed to do so. And when I confronted you on it, and I took Carrie Bonnie in the office with me, you cussed me out. I mean, Last meeting, you went to Kurt from Berlin, you poked him in the chest and called him an effing liar. You are out of control. You need to go. The best thing for this township is for you to resign before you get yourself in legal trouble, Al, because that's where it's headed. And you know they're gonna run a smear campaign. That's what you do in recall, Al. You should do everybody the favor and leave. Al. Let us get better leadership. And Sheila, it's not that you're a bad interim, but you know, it all happens so fast. The citizens have been voting and polling, and pretty much what we've decided is we would prefer Chris to be our interim, if he's willing to do so. We feel that he may not always agree with us, but at least he looks out for our rights. He might not like doing it, but he's gonna do it. Our thoughts might go against his, but if we have the right to say so, I guarantee you Chris would have never called the police on me for standing on the township sidewalk. You did. You violated my rights, you violated Paul's rights. We're done. We're done with you. It's time for this relationship to end, Al. It's time for you to thanks.
Hello, board. I'm here from Berlin Township. I'm here to protect my family. There's a data center that wants to go in, helping Frenchtown residents, helps Berlin Township residents. More specifically, my wife, who by no fault of her own has COPD, and she doesn't need any more pollutants in the air. Data centers cause an immediate drop in your own constituents' property values, as well as ruining park. I just found out about that. The resources necessary for data storage are much more valuable and would be better used by your constituents. It uses water power that will become scarce. This will cause their costs to go up for the very people who elected you. This server farm isn't only noisy during harvest season, it's noisy every minute of every day. Data centers, to be clear, tag every community as unlivable. This tag will bring the best residents away, and there is not one example of a data center being better for the community. They do not offer jobs, they pollute the air, they pollute the water. There is zero benefit to the community of the many, so it begs the question, who does it benefit? Few people receive the short-term gains, the other residents will suffer from it. Now, whoever gains from this deal, why don't you become the community hero and be the first person to become strong enough to say no to the billionaires? I think it'd be a big act, and maybe someone would erect a statue for you. Say, no, I'm not going to do this to my community. Money can't buy me. This board is the only fiduciary for Frenchtown Mall. Too small for a mayor, they rely on you to protect them. 1973 Republican Michigan legislature passed protections, fortunately. The Standards of Conduct for Public Officers and Employees Act, Michigan compiled laws 15.31. Write that down. The Incompatible Public Offices Act, MCL 15181. The Contracts of Public Servants with Public Entities Act, MCL 15321. Can and will be used to contest any decision the community questions. Further action for specific parcels are also the right of the public. Any zoning considerations can entitle this community for inspection for soil, water, and vapor contamination. These considerations are guaranteed by Part 201 and 213 of the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act 451. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen Brown. I'm a resident of Ann Arbor, and I'm here as a representative of the Sierra Club. I'm the local leader of the Sierra Club here in Monroe County. And I just have a few points to make, and that is, first of all, data centers, current polling suggests that nationwide. We're a nonpartisan organization, and this is a nonpartisan issue. Republican voters and Democratic voters both against the rapid development of data centers. And all that the Sierra Club is asking for right now is that there be a 1-year moratorium so that people have time to consider the risks and the rewards that people are taking with installation of these hyper data centers. I'll point out that there's already some 17 data centers here, but they're small scale. What we're talking about is hyper data centers. And for example, the state of Maine, I think 3 states finally passed legislation. So the state of Maine, for example, has limited hyper data centers to 20 megawatts of power. So that's quite a lot less than the gigawatts that are being proposed for the one, for example, in Township. Now, so we need a moratorium. We also need complete transparency because the permit applications are often inadequate in presenting the risks to neighbors, to property owners, to people using municipal water supply, and to ratepayers for the current utility, DT. This is all these sorts of, there have been, damages to local residents, both through higher utility bills, contaminations of groundwater, and also the other thing is we're all working towards renewable energy. And so these data centers want to get their electricity fast. They don't want to bother to wait to buy renewable resources, which are available. And it's already the cheapest source of energy for new electrical generation. Renewables are cheaper. They're even cheaper than gas. And so we're just asking for this moratorium and total transparency. And so I think if the zoning ordinance, I haven't had time to look at the current zoning ordinance and how it compares with the Washington County Board of County Commission. The Washington County Commission has suggested draft language that would truly protect the township as far as it's legally possible, that the ultimate remedy is getting a state law. There are laws in the state legislature right now, but you need to demand of your state representatives that they vote for these laws, because Matt Hall is going to leave them bottled up in committee. I can guarantee you that. So you need to have a public hearing in the state house.
Mr. Brown, you have
Good evening, Paul Nagorski, Frenchtown resident. Al, you say you're against data centers, but yet your property is still being marketed as such. You can't have it both ways. One or the other. Number 2, your unprofessional attitude towards constituents is out of control. I know for a fact an 80-year-old woman who came to you for some help, which you took care of her problem, she came to thank you, and you cussed in front of an 80-year-old woman. And I can bring proof of that. That is also Kurt poking him in the chest. What kind of intimidation is that, poking somebody in the chest? That is wrong. You need to resign. Ending, why is the township paying a full-time salary for a part-time job? Paying $86,000 to $91,000 for 3 meetings a month is ridiculous, and the board needs to re-examine this. Thank you. Have a good day.
I'm Marcia Wilson. I'm from Cypress Point Estate Subdivision. I was here back in September to talk about the condition of our roads. I was told to meet with Dick Lowell. And then meet with the road commission regarding SAD. As you know, from the last time I was here, over the past several years, the condition of our subdivision roads and curbs has steadily declined. Based on guidance from the Monroe County Road Commission, David Leach and his crew, they say that preventative maintenance is no longer effective. The recommended solution is a full improvement project consisting of a 2-inch mill and 2-inch hot mix asphalt replacement, including the curbs and the gutters. With this is a major undertaking. It also is a long-term investment. With proper maintenance, the new asphalt is expected to last 20 to 25 years, which helps protect our property values and reduce the likelihood of repeated short-term repairs. The financial scope is substantial. Current estimates place it around $2.4 million, which you're saying the residents need to pay through SAD. This would create a significant burden for many of our residents. Because of that, our HOA board is actively exploring alternatives. One option, of course, is the SAD that you keep pushing, which would allow the cost of the project to be financed over time and paid through our property tax bills, rather than an upfront single assessment. One question we have is, has the township asked for monies from the federal funds through the American Rescue Plan Act? There's many other townships in the state that have gotten these funds and has taken a portion of those funds and put them aside for conditions of the roads like us and projects for roads. So that's one of the questions that I would like to have answered eventually. I don't know who you want me to talk to. Another question is, I believe the state is going to be giving more monies through the gas taxes. Is any of that money going to be set aside for road improvements and subdivisions so that we don't have to have the burden of $2.4 million? At this stage, the HOA is planning an informal community poll per the SAD process to determine whether sufficient support exists and to pursue this option and to engage government partners. This evening, we are just asking for awareness, openness to dialogue, and continued collaboration with Frenchtown Township. We also ask that the township look into this federal support and state support and help us to determine how we can finance and maybe give us some monies towards the project. I also have other residents here with me. We're going to plan on coming to almost every meeting in the next month, several months, to bring up this point, because it's ridiculous that we have to pay for our own roads. And that's all I have. Thank you for your time.
My name is Richard Turner, 430 Gulfview Way, 734-457-4285. My question is to you, is there a specific policy of the Frenchtown Township concerning subdivisions or the local roads, how you fund them, where the allocation comes from, obviously the state through the road commission to you, and how is that money earmarked every year as to where it's going to be spent? Fellow resident, indicated that we know the gas tax went up. I know that there's going to be additional dollars that come this way. I don't know how much. You may not even know at this point what the allocation is going to be. And I can tell you, you can't just forget about us and tell us, hey, get an SAD, take care of your own business, and go away. And I know there's other subdivisions that are facing the same project problems. I was told this by your representatives before, but there's no way that just because you guys don't want to do it, you don't want to address the situation, that we should be stuck with a $2 million bill, as well as other subdivisions. They are local roads, they belong to you, they're up to you to fund them. You just can't tell us to go away, get an SAD. I want to see a specific policy, if you have one, regarding subdivisions, and how you're going to take care of them, or are they just on the back burner, and every time we meet with you, somebody sends us somebody someplace else, or you guys are just going to say, hey, that is our policy. If that's your policy, tell us, and we'll consider where we're going to go. No, those issues. Thank you.
Yes. I believe you said you're both from Cypress Point, is that correct? Okay, which is a platted subdivision. Township cannot spend money on private roads if it's just like condominiums or such, like Central Park. But the township has a limited budget. I believe it's approximately $800,000 to $900,000 per year to spend on roads. That's what the budget is for roads. And so those monies are typically spent, the township has a road committee. They review the roads in the township and come up with what are the most, the roads in need that are most highly used. Suggesting, we've had Sunset Meadows and there's all kinds of subdivisions requesting road improvements. I think that the estimate for Sunset Meadows was $1,250,000. You're suggesting $2 million for yours. And that's really just not in the township budget, and those funds are focused more on the roads that are local roads that are more heavily used by the traveling public. So generally speaking, that's a process, and the township has worked with individual subdivisions to establish special assessment districts for road improvements that allow the taxpayers to pay over a period of years and fund those improvements. It's been done in Bay West and other platted subdivisions recently.
Can I make one more point? Just quickly. I've seen an example, I'm 8 years old, I've seen how Frenchtown has worked with the Frenchtown Resort Authority out there, and I can remember when those roads weren't taken care of and everything, but then it looks like a success story to me over the years, and I would say if you guys would look into, I don't know how legal it is or what it would take, but why couldn't there be some kind of an authority or subdivision, since we're never going to be classified as, there's always going to be needier roads that more people travel on, but we're still yet residents and we'd like to be in line somewhere along there. If there's some way to capture some tax dollars that we pay to come back for each one of these subdivisions, so we can at least look at some hope here of putting it toward an SAD, which I don't want to do, or there's some way we can take that money and make a payment over to some cost toward that completion. It makes it a little bit more appealing. But I would look at that, because if there's a resort authority out there and they get it, and we know that we're not on the list for subdivision, which we still, those roads are 25 years old. I mean, they do need repair. You just say, hey, we got more important roads, and the thing's going to get 40 years old, and we're going to be driving on cracked up gravel roads pretty soon. So I would wish that you guys would look into that, give us some kind of answer along with the policy if you have it.
It should also be noted that the Michigan Transportation Fund does not allocate gas tax to townships.
I said to come to the road commission.
Yeah, well, you mentioned gas tax earlier.
Well, we all know.
We don't get that either. We don't get gas.
We as a township don't get it.
You get allocation from the road commission, correct?
No, they take from us.
There's a program that gives you dollars.
No, we don't. That's why it's so I would love to have this conversation with you.
Okay, that's fine.
So we can, I'd love to find some option for you,
And
but.
there is no road limit either. It's just simply, these are funds that the township dedicates from the general fund monies.
Chris, I don't want to overstep, but Dave's in charge of our roads, and he would be a good one, and he knows the process. And he is in charge of the roads.
I'm sorry, I'm hard here.
Dave would be a good one to have a conversation with. He's in charge of the roads.
Okay.
So he could explain how the funding
Yeah, we
is.
can,
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
we can meet and. I should, but I wanted to know, I apologize, it's my fault.
Can I ask, has the township put in for any federal support through?
In ARPA funds, we couldn't request any more, those had to be allocated more than a year ago, so.
So have you looked into this year or next year or future years? Does someone do that?
There is no more ARPA monies coming. Those monies were all allocated and had to be expended.
More than a year ago.
Yeah.
And so you didn't put in for that? You didn't,
The ARPA funds are for infrastructure, not for roads.
you just took that money and put it towards something else?
No.
Oh.
It's for infrastructure, it's not for roads, so we could never put it towards roads.
Well, other townships in the state have.
We use it for.
Waterford Township has, and several other ones. So I think
We'd love to. If we can get somebody higher up with a lot of money to put money into our pockets, we're ready for it. And and we're on your
Do you
side.
have any suggestions of who we should contact,
People at the state, I mean,
our representatives?
there's nobody in this room
Well,
that
I will ask
might help you.
personally, I'll ask them.
You do have voters. Let's,
Good
so
Yeah, so we can do
That's
this.
what
everybody
everybody-
to get back, it would be a good thing to collaborate with.
Okay.
Yes.
Marcia Wilson, 484 Birdie Court.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Jill Shinnebar, SCH, Stony Point Beach. Let's talk about the recalls that have been submitted. One resident has recalled 7 board members. It is going to circuit court as they are appealing the election commission decision, and the resident is still waiting for a court date. Another resident has recalled Al due to behavior issues, and the clarity hearing is May 4th at 8:30 a.m. Another resident has filed recall on Al, Sheila, and Julie. Clarity hearing date, May 4th, 9 a.m. On May 4th, the residents can attend the clarity meetings as they are open to the public. There is an opportunity for public comments. This will be in the courtroom of Judge Cheryl Lohmeyer, 3rd floor, Monroe County Courthouse, 106 East 1st Street, Monroe, Michigan. It's not what I wanted to do, but I don't like to talk about like this. You guys know I pour my heart into this. And I hate reading from a piece of paper because that's not who I am. I give you guys my heart and soul on when I speak. Al, why are you receiving your full salary if Sheila is the interim supervisor? Who sets the board salaries? Can the person reassess his salary since he is not doing full-time work? Mr. Van Washenova, I ask you to resign. Your behavior is uncalled for. At the last board meeting on the 21st, it was a prime example. I just have no words. So, thank you. Patricia Klein, Frenchtown Township. Regarding the moratorium for technology uses, data center uses, high resource demand uses, I would hope that you would include in the 6 months when you're putting things together, the requirement for an independent environmental impact study, independent hydrogeological studies, a public health impact study. What power source is going to be used? I know it's DTE, but is it going to be the coal burner? Is it going to be Fermi? Where is this power coming from? And what residential protections are you going to have for us? I also want to know, is the letter of intent to negotiate the purchase of a property to Cherry Blossom Devco LLC exclusivity agreement null and void during the moratorium? Since it's, I know you're not supposed to answer, but it would be nice if at some point you would bring that up.
Moratorium is specifically regarding application filings
Mhm.
or any development of any such uses during that time period. So that would be specifically just as to that.
Okay, so they can still have their exclusivity agreement with the
That
township.
would not affect that.
Okay, interesting. Okay, and Mr. Van Washenova, your bad behavior is embarrassing to the township. You need to do the right thing and step down. Not only is it bad behavior, it is costing us, taxpayers, your employers, more money. You're getting your full salary, and we were paying Mrs. Butzel $40 an hour, up to 20 hours per week. That's a half-time person. Come on. Because of your bad behavior, we're basically giving you free rein to continue. You haven't changed your behavior. Because of that, I'm requesting that at the end of the meeting, Mr. Van Washenova be escorted out of the building by somebody to protect the citizens who are here speaking. We do not need to be accosted by him. In contrast, I want to thank Clerk Bryant for the informational packet with the agenda. It is very helpful. And also, it's a big contrast that because of your ethical behavior, you're being attacked by DTE over the best language. It's unbelievable that by doing the right thing, Mr. Bryant and the township is being attacked. And we are allowing somebody who has documented bad behavior to stay up here. Please consider leaving. You will be recalled. Just make it easy on the taxpayers, on Frenchtown, and go. Thank you.
Somebody else would like to come up and address us at this time, please do so.
From Township. I think I never thought the council really knows what these data centers are gonna do in the community. I don't think you do, because if you did, you would be steadfast against this. Unless you're making some money off it, I don't know, but it's not an accusation, but you guys really ought to know what's going on with these things. They destroyed communities, they destroyed the whole cities, they destroyed water, wetlands, everything. And I don't think they should be put up anywhere until they have the sign for the technology to do it. They don't have it. The sound that these things create is a low hum, and don't just travel 100,000 feet, they go miles. And they're destructive to the brains of everything around you. Birds, animals, all the way up to us humans. So these are dangerous machines. They're machines, that's all they are. They're big, giant machines. They have no care about anybody else. Billionaires that run them, they get the money. If they don't live here, they don't care. They will destroy this community. Especially if we have everywhere around here like they're putting them up. It's ridiculous. I wish you guys would really reconsider putting up a data center here. We've heard about it down at Esco Beach, down at in Berlin Township meetings. We're all trying to get on board to get this, stopping this stuff, or at least, educating people about this. See it all over, it's all over Facebook. That what it's done to communities away from, in other states, just totally destroyed, just left nothing but rubble, wasteland. So I would really like you guys to think about this and re-talk it over publicly. That's all I have to say.
Maria Gonzalez, Indian Trail Subdivision. If you guys do the moratorium, I wish you wouldn't even talk to any data centers, Cloverleaf, or anybody with any type of data center. Because hopefully you guys will just walk away from it, don't accept any more of their money or anything else. For those of you that have been here since Fermi, you know what it's caused. It's caused cancer and everything else. Craig Yost grew up with the Fermi. I know Julie, I know Mr. Clemens. I grew up with it. And like I said, I can name 20 people that have had it in our little subdivision. And not only the data center does create pollution in the air, my little grandson, he's gonna be living with me for another probably 5 years till he graduates from school. He was born with a heart condition he had no, nothing to do with, and now he's got a heart defect. He's got a heart defect and a heart condition, and one of his valves leaking. And he also has asthma, and I'm doing this for him and for his brother, because I don't wanna see him go through what we've already seen with the Fermi. And you've heard that they cause nothing. This stuff is in the air. It causes asthma, it causes all kinds of stuff for kids. And he doesn't need any more of that. Like I said, if he's gonna be with me another 5 years, if not longer. And we already have the Fermi, we have the coal burner, Ford's isn't polluting us anymore, but please do not bring in anything that's gonna harm us, your grandkids, anybody else. We want this, I mean, I moved back, Julie, you knew that, I moved back from California to be here, you know, cause it's a nice community. So, please, let's keep it a nice community, not like River Rouge and everything else. So please just say no to data centers and try to get something else in there. Thank you.
Good evening, board. My name is Ann Borowski. I am a resident of Western Beach, Westmoreland Township. I'm here on behalf of the Frenchtown residents to support them. You definitely need to continue this moratorium. You need to examine your zoning ordinance to make it as restrictive as possible. I have talked to several people from different states who have had data centers put up 15 minutes from their house to drive to, okay? They have 24/7 noise. Their insurance, their electric bills have tripled. I even have one friend of mine who does not have a data center near her, but because the data center that's 15 miles down the road from her buys from her electric company, she has now doubled in her rates. Okay, I know they put funding out in front of you. I am a trustee at Esco Beach also, and I understand when you're trying to find money, you're trying to make things to a positive enforcement for the community. This isn't gonna do it, okay? This is a flash in the pan. This isn't gonna help your community, your residents, your children, your grandchildren at all. And this is something that you really need to be concerned with and side with your residents and trust them, okay? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm from Frenchtown. I'm pretty new to this whole meeting thing, but I gotta say, in the past 1 to 2 months I've been coming to these, the behavior I've seen is pretty concerning. So when we come up on the podium, we are expected to be kind, to be professional, not to use profanity. However, it seems that our own trustees aren't expected that same behavior. I think it's pretty clear to say too, if we were at our jobs and we were to come up to people and cuss at them, that we would instantly be fired. So why we can't accept this, why we can't expect the same from our elected officials is pretty crazy to me. I did also just want to say, as a reminder, that you are here for the citizens' best interest, that we are the ones who put you in place and we can remove you if needed. And I do also want to urge you to vote for the moratorium. It's clear that this is what everybody wants and this is what we need as citizens, and just urge you to do the right thing. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Shauna, Woodland Beach, and unfortunately my printer cut out, so I'm gonna have to read. I want to thank you for the cool air in here because guess what? Damn, it's gonna get hot. So I'm gonna talk to you today about data centers and these heat islands that I think is a great way for us to educate ourselves, and this is why we should care. A heat island happens when a data center gives off so much extra heat that the air, ground, and water around it become hotter than normal. These buildings run thousands of computers all day and night, and that heat gets pushed outside into the community. And that heat can spread up to 1 to 6 miles, which means it can reach our homes, our yards, our gardens, our wetlands, and even Sterling State Park. For residents, this means hotter nights, higher AC bills, and more heat stress for seniors, kids, and people with health issues. For nature, it means dying wetlands, stressed plants, fewer pollinators, and wildlife being pushed out of the area. So again, why should you care? Because once a heat island forms, you can't turn it off. The people and places closest to it will feel the impact first. And this isn't just something that I'm bringing out my rear. It's something that I've been talking to 3 reps about, 1 Democrat, 2 Republicans since that seems to be a very important piece of information for you from others. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is rake shop, and it's real. Utility companies raise your bills quietly. They use filings like reconciliation, adjustments, and shortfall recovery. Small fees end up to energy fees, temporary surcharges that almost never go back down. And in Michigan, where energy costs are already high, even small increases hit families hard. Now you can contact the MPSC and file a complaint and talk on the record about it. But, and I do suggest that you guys do, because I do see some of you really educating yourself, and I hope you continue to do that for the right of our people. I do have also citations. If anybody would like them, I'm happy to send them through email. But I just want to say, for those who are actually speaking out, standing up for us, thank you. It means a lot.
Hi there, I am Nadine Meeker. I am a resident of Frenchtown. Come to some of these meetings before in the past. Pretty much ditto to everybody that's mentioned about putting a moratorium on the data centers. We don't know enough about this. We do know quite a bit. We know that there have been some adverse effects, but we don't know everything that we could possibly do to make this a safe endeavor for us as a people. As I was mentioned, we're looking at rate increases for our energy bills. We're looking at detriments to our health. We are looking at detriments to just our sanity if we have something that runs constantly 24/7 for 10 to 15 years. And the chance of us actually, as capitalists, selling our property and wanting to be able to, grow, that's pretty much out. Who wants to live next to that? And again, people have mentioned the wildlife. There's so much that goes on in that area that could be used for the people of Frenchtown and be able to be something good for everybody. And so for me, I'm looking to see, I see a lot of people out here. Show of hands. Who would like a moratorium? That's your answer. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Sarah Alcinius, Frenchtown. I just want to say this weekend, me and Theo went out to the state park and you got to see the eagle's nest for the first time. So that was really amazing. The trail's been closed for, I think, the last 2 years. So I really forgot how much of a gift it is just to be able to drive a couple minutes down my road, have this beautiful path, being able to just be with nature, and especially this is really his first year being able to enjoy that with my child. So I hope that we can continue to enjoy the state park in the future, and if you really want to grab that today, eh? And I really, really hope that the deal with the state, with the DNR works out, so that it could be expanded, and that a data center wouldn't scare away the eagles and the nature that we could possibly enjoy there. I've also been digging in a little bit into the environmental study by Manick and Smith about the proposed data center site. The proposed site has 59 acres of wetlands, 4 ponds totaling about 3 acres, and about 2 miles of streams. And this is just after 5 years of the golf course being closed. And really, it's not just that corner. I brought a printout of it. So there's that corner that's like the, I can't remember what they call it, the conservation area. That has most of the wetlands, but it's really spread, throughout the site, and especially up in the upper right corner of the site. And there have been people here and outside here that have been talking about the state park subdivision, people that live there, that have concern about it flooding in that subdivision. And I know anybody that's lived in the beaches has had problems with their houses flooding. It happens to everybody. And I'm concerned that if we build on these wetlands, it's just gonna make that problem worse for the people that live in this subdivision. Because even FEMA recommends protecting natural floodplains, such as wetlands, to help reduce the risk of flooding. Wetlands provide this benefit by slowing runoff, storing floodwater, and slowing the rate of flow rate of water. 1 acre of wetlands can store about 1 million gallons of water. If you build on top of these wetlands, you raise the base flood elevation, decrease natural absorption. Concrete doesn't absorb water, and cause faster runoff. So I'm concerned that this area, all these wetlands and other vegetation, if you build on top of it, where's all that water gonna go if it's concrete? It might just flow right into that neighborhood and make that issue for those residents worse. So something to consider. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to address us at this time, please do so. All right, the next item up is the second reading of the zoning ordinance amendment 300-19, establishing a moratorium for technology use, data center use, and other high energy demand uses. So basically, nothing has taken away on verbiage. The verbiage is the same as the first reading on this, and this will be the second reading that'll put the moratorium in place.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we have the second reading and adoption of the moratorium, which is amendment 300-19.
I'll support.
Call, sir.
Mr. Van Washenova.
Yes.
Mrs. Allison.
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes. Mrs. Bussell.
Yes.
Mr. Clevens.
Yes.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Mr. Yost.
Yes.
All right. Next,
After publication.
but it's in process, we're going. Yep. All right, discussion of the resolution to adopt zoning ordinance text amendment ballot proposal language for the August 4th, 2026 election. So, you were Kyle.
Carrie, you can.
Just to let the board know, again, I can forward it to you, but yesterday, late afternoon, DTE did file a motion for preliminary injunction, as well as a complaint for writ of mandamus regarding the election matter. There's a hearing scheduled for May 8th, seeking the preliminary injunction, requesting that the board not be able to move this forward on the August ballot until such time as until such time as the court has resolved the issue. They're challenging the clerk's determination of adequacy of the petitions, and the petition, or these pleadings have been provided to the petitioner as well. And I think my recommendation is that this not proceed forward at this time. The court will be considering the injunction question on May 8th. And again, personally, I don't see harm because the battery energy storage amendment cannot take effect until there is a vote. So if it's, the language has to be approved by May 12th in order to be on the August 4th election. If it's not, then it would follow, it would be pushed off until the November election. But again, that's just my opinion, others may feel differently, but I don't see a harm in the fact that it won't be acted upon because it remains not in effect until the voters decide that question. So.
What time on May 8th? What time is the hearing on May 8th?
1:15.
In Judge White's courtroom?
That hearing will be in the Judge White's courtroom. There's a motion for preliminary injunction. The DTE will have to show the likelihood of success on the merits, irreparable harm, no adequate remedy at law, and then of course there's a balancing of powers, public interest, in order for the court to grant the injunction. But that's not a decision on the question itself, it's a decision on whether the injunction should be granted, prohibiting the township board from placing this matter on the August election. And then the case would continue with regard to the complaint filed by DTE. So it's really my recommendation at this time that the board just, and not to a specific date. I think my recommendation case if there's an agreement on delaying the ballot proposal and so forth. But again, it was just filed late yesterday and just taking a look at it, so.
Any other questions? I'll make a motion, we table it by. No, let's postpone it, because that doesn't have to put a date on it. Postpone it.
Table it.
Okay.
I'll support that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Okay. Discussion of the LET village renewal proposal for the August 2026 election.
So this is just a renewal of LATC's current 0.75 mils, continued operation for the local bus service in Frenchtown Township. Being your representative there, I ridership stay pretty steady. Took a dip during COVID, but numbers have rebounded. It lost out on a lot of federal funding, and that has been the reason for the increase in allowable mills used. But I think it's a good service. I know a lot of our residents take advantage of it.
So basically, it's renewing the levy not to exceed 0.75%. No.
We're voting on allowing them to put this
Put it up.
language on them.
That is the language that's on the ballot.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion to approve the language as presented.
I'll second it.
Mr. Van Washenova. Mrs. Allison.
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes. Mr. Klaus.
No.
Mrs. Bustle.
Yes.
Mr. Yost.
No.
Mr. Collins.
No.
All right, next is discussion of the audio quote for the board. So, Sheila, have you got that? What do you want to-
I didn't read it.
Dave did quote? Thank you, sir.
So as the board knows, some time ago, you directed myself to get, first I'll go back. First, we did some repair work in here, and when the company came in, who's been doing our event center, saw that some things needed to be retuned and some new equipment added. So I had them come back as you directed. And then Jessica and I talked last week, and she indicated the board would probably be better served by a mic in front of each board member. So it'd be closer to you. So I had them come back out. They came out and they recommended, and I know up at SEMCOG in Detroit, they have the exact same mics and they're movable. So he would remove all the mics in front of you. Each one of you would have one in front that you could move closer, set off to the side a little bit if need, and it also has an on-off button on it. So when you go to talk, you hit the button, it turns green, so you know it's on. And then you can speak and address questions, and then you hit the button and it goes red and turns your mic back off. All new speakers, some new wiring, also some pretty extensive redoing of the unit that sits by Jessica there, and also she got out an iPad that controls some of the audio in here, and she's got that working. So that is the quote that you can see in front of you and, for everything that they're suggesting that we do in the boardroom. Also, there's a camera in there for recording, and you'll see the whole list of everything. Anybody have any questions?
Just to expand on it a little bit, those are all gonna be critical components in us being able to live stream, so.
Yes.
Thank you for helping us with that, Dave, and then we've been evaluating some options for actual streaming platforms. We're gonna go quote from iCompass, which is a service that'll partner with YouTube, but will also kind of streamline our publication of our board packets process. So that could be helpful, but then also looking at just traditional, I guess, straight to stream options like YouTube or Zoom. So should have, once obviously this equipment is installed, good to move forward with that.
So is this something we would have next year for the budget, or we don't have this in the budget?
It would have to be a line item.
Is no one else available to quote this, so maybe we can get a better number or something?
I just went with, I can reach out to some other people I have in the past and didn't get any responses, but this is the company that's been working with us out at the event center. And I think we're very, very happy with them. We've been renting equipment from us to help until everything got changed out there, which he just did with the speakers. And so he's been in here working, so familiar with it. And so he responded. If you would like, I certainly can continue a search for.
Maybe it'd be appropriate to get another bid, and then bring back a budget amendment with that. Make sure the funds are accounted for.
Yeah, how much can we ask? How much?
Nearly
Yeah.
16,000.
I will say to Dave's point, this company's been very reliable for the community center, so I'll be interested if we can get another quote. Cheapest isn't always best, so I have no issue seeing another quote, but my recommendation would still be this company from the first-hand experience we've had with them. So I'm curious to see where another company comes in.
I think Jessica solved part of the sound problem. I think they can hear us better now. Can you hear us better?
Yes,
Okay.
when your mic's not in front of you, I can't, and a lot of people can get it.
Like, we have to share one.
I think having individual,
Okay, that makes sense.
having individual mics for everybody, I think is gonna be a huge help.
Okay.
They're gonna add speakers and new ones. He said these are very poor quality, old, I should say. But I can certainly start making some more phone calls tomorrow and see if I can get somebody else over here.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for the work.
Okay.
you've put in.
Get some input. Okay, well,
Yep.
next item up is discussion revisiting the quotes for the landscape on stone. That is like,
You can stay up there, right?
Sorry to bring this back to you guys, but
Yeah. So what happened is that you guys voted for this and it did say install, and I remember telling you my recommendation was go with the company would install it for a little bit more. Well, so I called them the next morning and said, and I asked him, because I'd been talking to Thomas, are you gonna put mesh down when you install it? And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you're supposed to install it. We don't do that. We only do trucking. So I did not get the quote. It came from somebody else. We're back here in front of you to go with the next one. Jack's was higher than everybody, and then the other bid was the cheapest without install. And Thomas has already been putting down screening and the metal edging. So he's ready to get started.
I'll make a motion to, for this $4,609 for the run. And have Thomas put it in.
I'll support.
Is it good for the line?
Not bad. No,
No.
You don't want
they're high. They're high.
It's Earthworks, I thought. I could be
No,
wrong.
Earthworks is the one that said they were gonna install it.
I don't know which one it was.
We
It's
don't
the,
usually.
it's the email.
No. It's the email that's Nest.
The amount is $3,227.
That's it.
I amend that for that.
I think Dax was 4, Gary, something.
I'll support
Yeah,
that.
46.
Yeah, 46.
Yeah, sorry.
This one's 3,200.
This is to replace the
Correct.
prior award.
Yes.
So, whoever's delivering this, are they gonna deliver it where we want it? The reason I say that is, this says 67 yards. You know, that's like, it's like 250 wheelbarrow loads. I mean, you realize how tough that's gonna
We
be?
do half one spot, half another, you might be able to do that.
So, Tom, to answer your question, good question. I talked to Thomas about this, and he wants to talk to the trucking company to bring it two separate loads, and he will tell them where to dump it for him.
Exactly, I mean,
Yes.
this is gonna be a mountain.
It is.
Right.
Yes, so no, good question, we'll get that taken care of. Tom, I told Thomas to talk to him himself, I gave him the number. Yes, he does. Yeah, he's gonna use the little tractor.
All right, so we've got motion and support.
So,
Roll call, sir.
Mrs. Ellison,
Yes.
Mr. Clem, Mr. Collins,
No.
Mr. Van Washenova,
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes, Mrs. Bussel,
Yes.
Mr. Yost.
Yes.
All right, our next discussion item up is for the community center.
So we've got our IWR Wrestle, is it Wrestle Fest this time? Wrestle Festival is 2, so they're coming back, and it was a great event the first time. You can purchase tickets online if you're interested in that. You can find links to that on our Facebook page or directly on their website. And then on May 9th, we've got Fire Lake, our Bob Seeger tribute band coming back. That was a big hit last year, so I think that'll be another good show over there, so. That concludes the community center report, unless Frank has anything to add about the plumbing. I believe that was resolved last week.
Well, it's not completely, it's not resolved, but you know what the problem is. But I would tell you one thing, the way the brook runs down into the valley, there's no splash guard on the end of it. And it comes pouring over the end when it rains. Our hole that was a controlled hole has turned into a monstrous hole. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna, it's just not something we wanna do forever. I mean, there should be some splash guard on the end of those valleys so that at least stays in gutters, comes down the drain.
Thank you, Dave.
It's just a thought.
And no, good idea. Dave and I will look into getting that remedied.
I have a question, Mr. Davis. You suggest that we get the Rich to come over and flush that out before the wrestling event?
Well, yeah, and,
Okay. All right,
they've
good.
been doing it. They do it for the. Also, they've got something back out, so we've gotta be sure that we do it very strategically, so it's not gonna rain, because otherwise we're gonna end up more unbelievably early. So, it's,
So we have,
it's all.
That concludes the community center report. Karen, you need to discuss any of the pending litigation? I don't think we meet again until the hearing itself.
I don't think so. Unless you want to, I don't think so. I think
Trust your judgment.
I've been in contact with commission's representative of council as well as DTE council and again, just we will respond accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
the next item up is a workshop, for the MTA workshop for the planning and zoning. So, what you got?
Yes, Fred brought up that he would like the board to go to, the zoning board to this is what we found, so far, everybody but have not talked to Mr. Adrian yet to know if anybody else would like to go. And something that I think the board should pay for It's $150 a person. Because of just getting it now, May 6th is the date that everybody can go. So 13th is zoning board, so that will be out. And 18th, something else is going on, so the 6th was the date that was set.
I'll make a motion to approve the request as presented.
I'll support.
Yep, so we know what's going on here too, though, I mean, we go into back up with, getting there and, what is the.
No, people just drive there, it's just in Belleville.
Oh, I thought it said Franklin.
Well, that was the 13th.
Oh,
So
okay, I was just looking.
No, so we can get ourselves
I hadn't
there.
heard anything about lodging or transportation, or I might have reconsidered or something.
No. So it's just in Belleville, at the conference center at the ISD.
Well, I mean, anytime, we would pay everyone the mileage, I mean, there's. It's just, you gotta do it, I mean, nobody needs to be driving their own gas.
Well, I think that we can carpool.
You can do that, I mean, it just means less, but you still have to do it.
We take it out.
Do it, but I mean, it's.
Big Smoky, no. Maybe Smoky will be gone by then. So, yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and allow mileage.
Well,
Is the one
it's
just asked?
mileage if they drive, I guess, in ZBA, ZBA and PC.
How many can you fit in the Tahoe?
5.
Five. It's okay.
Some
We'll figure
might
it out.
wanna ride, some might not.
Yeah.
Right, some people just
So I
want
leave it
to-
at an option. If they wanna go, I'll go group, good with groups, and then they can discuss on the way back what they talked about, which is always a good thing.
Alright.
Okay.
And I would just know also that after the last ZBA meeting, I have prepared a letter for the ZBA kind of on something I didn't know this was coming up, but I prepared a letter just to, I guess, put some reminders before the ZBA, which I'll send out anyways.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary.
Alright. Okay.
Julie's. Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Mr. Clevs.
Yeah.
Mrs. Ellison.
Yes.
Mr. Van Washington.
Yes.
Mrs. Bustle.
Yes.
Mr. Yost.
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes.
Alright, okay. All right, at this part of the meeting, we're back up to our public comment session, and please, if you'd like to just come up and do so at this time.
Again.
I'm just trying to get to my notes.
You guys, when we first started our citizens group, we knew early on that it was really important that we united with other townships in the county. And we knew that we were stronger together. And, you know, I work with a lot of politicians and, you know, pretty closely and higher up attorneys and across the state and that. And they all feel like the best thing for us to do, each township, is to unite countywide, just like the citizens did, because then you guys would be stronger together. Then you guys, like Berlin right now, it's got somebody saying, oh, they're gonna zone too strict. So, you know, this would help everybody countywide if you guys did that, collaborated together. And, you know, oh, this one's doing this one. You can learn from each other just like we did. I learned a lot going to these other meetings, a lot. And there's a lot going on in Berlin, and I really feel like there's a lot you guys can do to help each other, the townships countywide, if you work together. So, and Kyle, I'm not happy with DTE. I think they totally suck. But you did the right thing, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, they were going to come after you either way, I feel. So, you know, they're going to come after somebody. So I guess we'll just have to deal with it. And I hope citizens will show support for that, because we need to. We need to show DTE that this is our township, this is our community. Local control, I know a lot of people don't like it, they'll say, the Republicans always scream local control. But guess what, here we are, and what are we fighting for? Local control. We don't want the state to control us, we don't want that. And you guys, when it comes to drones, I just gotta tell you right now, no, okay? Thanks.
Hi, Alana, Frenchtown. I hate coming up here without notes because my mind goes all fluttery. But as far as the data center, I think we need to go. We've already talked about the health issues and you know, the animals and all that, and you guys are not fully aware of that, but you're also not aware of what they're going to be used for. And that is concerning. You guys are here to protect us, and I'm seeing a lot of really close, and we're getting real close to taking away our Fourth Amendment here with the surveillance stuff. And these drones need to go. They do not need to be here without very, very, very strict restrictions, like maybe over water and fire only, maybe where people can't go. But if you're not going, we can't have full surveillance. This is ridiculous. And these data centers are going to fund that. And you gotta understand that they're not for Facebook or anything like that. It's literally for digital ID and cashless society and facial recognition and all of this other stuff that you don't know and we don't know. But you're putting us in danger, and all the American citizens. It's your duty to protect our Constitution. And this is against our Fourth Amendment. We do not need full surveillance at all. Chris is the only one who's ever spoke about our constitutional rights. And you guys all took an oath to uphold that. So I expect you to do that. Thank you.
Anybody else would like to address us at this time, please do so.
I'll take that on what you said.
I'm gonna say something really cheesy first to start this out good. I wanna say Kermit said it best. It's not easy being green, but protecting life, our homes, our wetlands, our state park, our wildlife, our gardens, our future. It's worth it, every bit of it. And unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. That's where we are right now. And that comes from Dr. Seuss. Now I'm gonna change. Okay, that wasn't just a moment last meeting. That was an escalation. And research from the National Institute of Justice shows that one act of aggression is often the warning sign for more if it isn't stopped. One time is enough to tell us there's a problem. This is how abuse starts, with small acts that people try to excuse. But we don't excuse it, not here, not in Frenchtown. This behavior is not normal, not professional, and not safe. He needs help, and it's not right that he takes his anger out on us. Thank you.
Anybody else like to address us this time, please do so. Seeing none. Okay. Next item up is the.
Not a lot to report, I will note that I know the board's received quite a few emails, regarding the Reinhardt Road property and complaints regarding that, and I think, Mr. Yule has met with the sheriff and some of the residents and tried to address that, so. And I've received a few incident reports from the sheriff's office as well, so. Continuing to work on that.
Just for Dina.
Nothing else at this time.
Mr. Dave, what do you got for us?
Thank you.
Dave? This one thing. Yeah, thank you.
So when I met with the DPW committee, we talked about the fact that we've got all these wood chips that we're now creating for cleaning all these trees out and all the ditches and stuff like that. So we'd like to offer them to the public, but I need to verify with you guys if that's possible to do. The committee seemed like we could offer those to the public, give them away for free. It's just wood chippings that we've done from picking up dead trees or fallen trees or anything like that. So I wanted to see if that's something we can possibly do, check with Carrie to, after the meeting, I'll check with Carrie, make sure we can offer it. We are piling them up currently at the golf course parking lot right now. We can have, people show up, we can load them up and let them take them, do 1 day event and have them take as many as they desire until they're gone. So if that's okay with the board, we'd like to move forward, giving those wood chips away to the public if they want them and go from there.
I'll make a motion to authorize the DPW director and the township attorney to initiate that giveaway of wood chips.
I'll support that.
Really something you need to get rid of off the property.
Yes, we have no place to put them. We've used what we could around trees that we have, but now we're starting to collect quite a few, we're cleaning up the parks. So we're starting to collect quite a few wood chips, so we want to pass them on to the public if they want them. They're pretty good wood chips. They have no leaves in them at this point right now, so while they're good, we'd like to give them away and see if people use them.
Are you gonna want to put them like, Giannis or
They're
somewhere?
at the golf course property right now. That's what we found a bunch of
So
them.
then they can just.
Yep, they can pull them out parking lot, it's a circle right there, we can load them up real quick, if someone's got a trailer or whatever they wanna do, we can just set aside a couple hours in 1 day, a 4-hour window or something, and get it done real quickly.
Okay. Roll call, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Van Washenova.
Yes.
Mrs. Ellison.
Yes.
Mr. Bryant, yes. Mr. Klebs.
Yeah.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Mrs. Bustle.
Yes.
Mr. Yost.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Jared, what do you got for us, sir?
Ooh.
That much fun.
Pickleball courts are close. The weather hasn't cooperated. They gotta be dry. They started striping today. I was looking at the weather ahead. The next 2 days don't look good. It can't be cold at night or the paint freezes. Hopefully by Monday we'll have them open. We have the nets and stuff ready to put in for that. Kiwanis should be ready for its first weekend rental. We did a walkthrough yesterday and getting some things cleaned up there. It's gonna be a nice facility for the public to be able to use. Rich is doing a lot of work over there with his guys cleaning up around the outside, so, that's going good. We've got our foundation in for the garage. The quarters were poured last week, the block are ready to go in. That should be done before his deadline of June. I was promised it'd be done sometime this month of May. There is something, that will come up probably at the next meeting. We had storm damage on the shingles on this garage, prior to starting the construction of the addition. I have 3 quotes on them. I held off on those from bringing them to you, so I'm gonna try and negotiate with whoever puts the roof on this garage, the addition, to do the whole thing. Hopefully I can get the cost down a little bit on that. What else? That's it.
I got a question for you in regards to the Kiwanis. I stopped in
Yep.
over the weekend and I was looking at the serving area. I don't know if anybody's seen, I know, but I guess I'm a little concerned. I mean, it's fine for serving, but people are gonna occasionally do bad things to stand on it. And I would suggest that we,
Some
between the
uprights,
windows,
some
maybe
uprights in there.
either uprights or some cabinets in between a few
Okay,
areas.
I got you.
Because they'll pull them right out.
Yeah, you,
Cabinets, that's a good idea.
yeah, we could put a, I'll look into it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, just something in the middle. And
It makes
something,
sense.
yeah.
Those, somebody's gonna sit on them or
Oh,
something.
it definitely, even whether we wanted to or not.
Right.
It looks good though, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look into that. I think that's it. Any other questions? We're gonna get our house tore down. We're gonna get 2 houses.
Very good.
One on Avenue A and one on Brunel.
Very good. Get 12.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Anything for Rick? Or we good at that point? Okay. Well, to address this, my comment, I am sorry for the way I am. I am working on it, I am going. But, you know, I got 68 years, I gotta change. And I talk normal with our things, so I apologize to you. I've dealt with people all my life, in and out of our place and businesses, and it's the way we talk, so I gotta break a habit, and I'm sorry. Okay, that's all I can say, I'm working on it. I went to classes. Okay, Julie, what do you have?
I don't have anything.
This is a couple things real quick. There's a town hall tomorrow, in case you weren't aware. It's on flock cameras, my apologies, flock drone presentation from the Monroe County Sheriff's. I've been asked by a number of persons if we're looking at reinstituting the summer program. I think it's something we should look at. We had to go away from it because we didn't have the right certifications.
You're talking about the date that it's on.
And the last thing is for the members of the ordinance committee, we have a number of dates that have been put out. Maybe we could all respond today or tomorrow with available dates so we can begin the ordinance review.
I mean, we have gotten 3, we only have 2 more people that need to respond.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, I mean, I saw them today.
Yeah, so, I mean, and you can kind of see it, if we can do it within the days that we.
I'm great with them. They all were great for me, so.
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Frank, what do you have for us, sir?
I think I caught all my names, thanks.
Yeah, yes.
I've got nothing, so I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:21 PM.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we are adjourned.